Welcome to the Good Place Marionville podcast, dedicated to highlighting the good right here in Marionville, Missouri.
In today's episode, we'll continue our commitment to showcase the goodness in Marionville, uniting our community through shared stories of hope and optimism. So let's cover some good this week.
Wow. There's so much stuff, Martha, going on. You mentioned, wait a minute, is that, you have Jim by my name? Is this supposed to be yours?
This is me.
Wow, we're starting out the show a little rough right now.
All right, so what I wanted to say, Jim, was that last week you mentioned that the Lions Club is starting a new year, and it's a really great time for people to join the club, although people can become a member any time of the year. So do we have any idea of what you want to encourage people to get joined to the Lions Club?
All right, so the Lions Club is focused on eye care worldwide. And in Marionville, we are the only civic organization in Marionville, and we try to help people that are in need of being able to do have some eye glasses, some eye checkups, and they just don't have the money to get it done. And it's a lot of time coordinated through the school, but sometimes through local businesses to let them know that you've got a need. But we need members to help us disseminate this money out around the town and do it well and to support what's going on in our community. Check out the Lions Club second and fourth Wednesday of every month at Alice Irene's right at noon. If you want to come along with me, just email me, goodplacemarionville@hotmail.com, and I will reach out to you and we'll coordinate meeting in the parking lot and walking in together.
Jim, I have a quick question for you. I was somewhere this week where they had a donation box by the Lions Club for getting old glasses to the Lions Club so they can send them back out. Is that something we can do here in town? I'm putting you on the spot.
It is something we can do here in town. I believe there's one of those boxes over at Smart Insurance downtown Marionville.
Awesome. Good to know.
But I'm not totally sure. So.
We'll find out. Let's go to the Lions Club meeting and you'll find out.
It's Friday afternoon. Ask Aaron Head over at the Bank of Billings right here in Marionville. He'll know.
And why Aaron?
Because Aaron's the president of the Lions Club.
Excellent.
I'm just the second vice president. All right. Economic development is underway. This committee is in the beginning stages of being formed right here in Marionville. If you're interested in getting involved in the future of Marionville, this is an excellent opportunity to do so. Just let us know. We'll get you connected or contact City Hall. Speaking of City Hall, the good news is there's an amazing opportunity awaiting someone from Marionville as the new city clerk. The sad news is, hey, we're not supposed to do sad news on Good Place Marionville.
No, but you have to really acknowledge.
Well, the good news is Debbie Bateman is retiring, and she's so excited to be able to be mom and grandma after 18 years of serving our city faithfully. So check out the job description on the City Hall Facebook page and apply for the job. We need to have somebody with great computer skills, great people skills, and you could take that job to the whole next level where thank you to Debbie. She'll be on the job through the end of the year. Remember, if you want to fill out that or apply for that job, I'm having a hard time here on Friday afternoon.
It's all right.
You'll have some big shoes to fill.
For sure. So in school news, yes, it's still summer, but I'm hoping that some of the new people in town are watching this podcast to learn more about the great town that they have moved to. And there's some important school dates that are on the calendar. So I'll put the link to the school calendar in the show notes. But I noticed that
when you say show notes, whenever I'm watching a YouTube video, I never can find these notes. Where are these notes?
They're right there, like right under the picture.
Because people always say when you watch
it, like a dot. It'll have like a few of the words that I've written, and then if you expand it, you'll see more.
Look on the show notes for the school calendar.
And you can highlight them there. But new families, there's some special dates for you, so I just want to make sure you're aware of that. So there is some sport news that I was
First
given.
day of school, August 21st. Did you say that?
Yeah. So Marionville Baseball head coach Nicklaus Hooper this is the report from Sasha Bailey. She says he is moving mountains for the baseball and the softball program. And so I just want to encourage you to stay tuned to hear more about the new sports season that will be coming sooner than you imagine. Go ahead, Jim.
High school football team held camp for 3rd through 6th graders. Coach Grubbs and his guys did an awesome job inspiring the young ones to continue to work hard and keep the Comet tradition values alive. Well, you think about in 10 years, 3rd through 6th graders, in 5 years, that's our varsity football team.
That's pretty amazing. So we have to thank Stephanie Evans for sharing that with me.
That's right. And don't forget the varsity football camps are starting up soon. Get your players hydrated before you send them to practice.
Good idea.
All right. There was a tragic accident here in town this week. We asked you to pray for the family and all the first responders that were involved in trying to save a little girl's life. Remember to get out of the way when emergency vehicles are near you and consider joining the fire department. We need your help.
There was also a traffic accident this week on 60. And Jim, you mentioned that several people sped through the area while the accident congestion was still there. And sadly enough, many were on their cell phones.
All right. So I'm out there directing traffic and people are going fast and I'm trying to get them to slow down. And they're sitting there talking on their phone. They weren't even looking at me. And there's 3 cars on the side of the road. There's 2 fire trucks. There's 3 cop cars and a tow truck. And people are on their cell phone. Get off your cell phone in those zones, because the good news is nobody got hurt, but we need you guys to be careful.
Yeah, so I just want to remind you, I actually said to you, Jim, I said, aren't we hands-free now? Like, why would that even be happening? So just a reminder that the Citizens-Bending hands-free law prohibits all drivers from manually typing, scrolling, or holding their cell phones while driving. It does allow you to use hands-free features like talk-to-text, Bluetooth, or speaker functions to talk, send messages, and use navigation functions. So you can still use your GPS on your phone, but do it talk to text. So just be careful. I know this may not sound like good news, but the good news is that this is the law that we need to abide by.
And there's a reason.
There is.
Especially in an emergency zone. But if you're like me and you have an old car that doesn't have Bluetooth and doesn't have cell phone features, you can use your headphones that connect up to your cell phone and use that way you can hear what's going on without holding your cell phone. Hey, sponsor highlight. A huge shout out to the Bank of Billings for being a huge sponsor of the Good Place Marionville podcast. We're so grateful for their partnership. They've been serving this community for 135 years, and their brand new building has a really sweet parking lot and a brand new, not only an ATM, but an ITM. And if you don't know what that is, make sure you check it out. Their new building is spectacular. Just remember, they're a member FDIC and they're an equal housing lender. I can't get this done today.
Everybody have grace. It's Friday afternoon.
Member FDIC equal housing lender. Check them out online at Bank of Billings.
So it is worth mentioning again that the Storehouse Bakery is open with a limited menu. And yes, that is in the old Dairy Queen space for those of you still trying to make connections there. We're very excited about them coming to Marionville, but I was thinking maybe should all weigh ourselves for like pre-Storehouse Bakery opening, because I think we may become regulars and that may affect the scales. Grand opening is July 23rd.
Tuesday, grand opening. And we have had the opportunity because Storehouse Bakery sent some samples to the Marionville Business Connect meeting where we bring together business leaders from around the city. And I tasted just about everything. I kind of did the Norm thing from Cheers where I took a bite of everything. Not a single chocolate caramel, but everything I ate was fantastic.
Oh my word, it was so good.
All right. If you or someone you know can choose where they work but don't want to work at their kitchen table, just let them know that we have an office for rent right here at Central Place, downtown Marionville. Send us a message on Facebook or email, goodplacemarionville@hotmail.com. It's all inclusive. Got air conditioning, high-speed internet, and great landlords because we're here all day long.
Oh,
Martha,
that's so good.
We had some exciting stuff going on here yesterday.
Yes. So here at Central Place, we hosted a team from the Sonic Drive-In right here in Marionville. They are actually in the top 50 stores in the country, and there are 3,500 Sonics. They're in the top 50 competing to make it to get a trip and to earn awards based on their excellence, their performance, their knowledge of the Sonic brand. And so they did a Knowledge Bowl here where they're getting graded and tested on. And it's just pretty exciting. What an accomplishment. Even if this is their last milestone, but I hope it's not. I think they have further to go. They have been studying and training. Way to go, Sonic.
I was just thinking, they didn't bring any cherry limeades with them the other day.
No, but we could go visit them and get one anyway.
All right. We recently learned about Missouri Good Neighbor Week, which was signed into law in 2022. Go online to MissouriGoodNeighborWeek.com and find out more about it. But we need to be good neighbors, and we get a chance to practice September 28th through October the 4th, the week after Apple Fest, to put our good neighbor skills into practice.
Yes. So we'll be sharing more about that in the weeks to come. But basically in 2023, they set a goal to document 15,000 acts of neighboring, and they actually got almost 20,000. And in addition to that, they had 74 service events that reported and thousands of visitors on the website learning more about it. And 60 different people were nominated as engaged neighbors. And I will tell you that neighboring is so huge to Marionville. And I just want to encourage us to wrap our arms around this. And like you said, it's happening right after Apple Fest. So Valerie Robbins, thanks for making us aware of this. We'll be keeping you tuned on this.
Charles and Shirley Piter, longtime residents of Marionville, have some big time celebrating happening. Charles recently turned the big 9 decades. And together, Charles and Shirley are celebrating 65 years of wedded bliss. What a great godly example they are for our community. They're having a celebration at First Baptist here in town on the 20th. That's tomorrow from 1 to 3 p.m. Free food and a chance to shake the hands of some stalwart warriors in the faith and in being married 65 years. Find out what their secret is the 20th at First Baptist from 1 to 3 p.m.
That's awesome. So other good news, kind of off the record, Casey's
on the record.
Well, it is on the record, but Casey's got syrup for their soda machines. If you were in there last week when it was so hot, their truck didn't send any syrup. So they didn't have beverages in their machine. So, hey, that's a little good news.
Think about that was a hit for Casey's, and we're sad for them. But Martha seriously had to drive all the way to Monette in order to be able to know. But Martha's got a serious addiction to Diet Coke. And so it's
Coke Zero at Casey's.
Okay. All right.
All right. So I posted on Facebook asking for some good news, and I got some great responses. Some of it I've already shared, but let me share just a couple more. I was notified that Elmaya has gotten a refresh on new booths and tables and chairs. So I want to encourage you to head on in there, check out their new decor, and get some great food while you're there, because it's always great food.
Wow.
Murphy's,
you gotta go.
I know.
Okay.
Murphy's Orchard was featured by Ozarks Alive this week. And I know that everyone keeps talking about the contenders that are being picked right now. And also the new bread offering.
I believe those are peaches for those of you from the outside.
I'm pretty sure everybody knows. So, if you don't know what a contender is, you'll have to Google it. But it sounds like a very awesome variety right here in town. And also, I wanted to highlight the bread offerings by Lydia that are being offered there. So go in it to the orchard. We're all about food. And lastly, I want to...
And again, thanks to Valerie Robbins for several good news items. Who's going to compete with Valerie next week? He give us some more good news items.
There you go. And I want to thank Greg Stoddard, because he actually, when I asked for good news, posted the Bible verse from John 3:16, which is truly good news.
All right. Applefest around the corner, less than 2 months away. Wow. There's all kinds of ways to be involved. We need volunteers, parade volunteers, vendor volunteers, volunteers of volunteers, somebody to control the volunteers, to keep them under control, contests of all kinds. I know the fire department is going to have a contest that the Applefest committee doesn't even know about yet, that we're going to do a giveaway, actually a raffle.
Awesome.
All kinds of great stuff going on Applefest week.
That's awesome. So I did highlight this last week, but we do have new cards that give you information of how to share good news with us. So make a comment in the show notes. I'll make sure to connect with you and get you some of those cards. You can have them at your business or your home or in your wallet.
Marionville Ministerial Alliance is our local ministers working together for the good of Marionville. They are working on an event for October 12th at the Pickleball Warehouse called City of Hope. Offering resources and local services, there'll be free food, fun activities, free haircuts. I guess I can't get much out of that. Special cars, antique tractors, kids zone, and so much more. Spread the word. That's October the 12th at the Pickleball Warehouse. If you don't know where that is, better go out and find it.
And I'm pretty sure it's like 10 to 1, but we'll keep you posted on that. And they're just asking that we spread the word about this event. So that's what we're doing. I try really hard to not repeat things here on the podcast, but it's important and timely to get the word out about the foreign exchange student program. And Donna Haley White is in charge of that right here in town. You can find her on Facebook and ask her questions, but she has some students that are looking for homes that want to come to Missouri. So I just feel like that's incredibly important right now that we get that word out. Consider it for your own family and give Donna a message.
Talk about making your school year exciting. Bring a foreign exchange student in and give them a show me state welcome.
Aww.
It's time to wrap up today's episode of the Good Place Marionville podcast. But Martha, I just wanted to put one more plug in for the volunteer fire department. I don't know how many of you out there listening understand that our fire department has been volunteer for 170 years. And the responses to your medical calls, your fire calls, your accident calls are all done by volunteers, people that give up their time to serve the city. If you've got a heart for your city and you understand how to care for people and you want to learn how to respond to be a first responder, we'd love to have you go to City Hall, get an application. We'd love to have you join our team at the fire department. Oh yeah. Then the rest of it. As you can tell, this platform is for us to highlight local businesses showing the support of the good happening here in Marionville, Missouri. We'd love to have more of them join the background behind the Good Place Marionville podcast. Consider becoming a sponsor by contacting goodplacemarionville@hotmail.com. There are lots of different ways to sponsor the Good Place Marionville podcast, and we'd love to have you on our team.
So thank you for each of you that have contributed good news to this week's episode. It really does take an army of reporters to keep up with the stories of the good things that are happening right here in our town. Anytime you hear good news, remember to email us at goodplacemarionville@hotmail.com or call 417-677-8167.
And again, thank you to the Bank of Billings for making this all possible. And thank you for joining us on the Good Place Marionville podcast. Keep your eyes out looking for the good in Marionville. And wow, I can't even get the closing right today.
You want me to do it, Jim?
Yeah, go ahead.
Keep your eyes out for the good, and together we can celebrate Marionville.
Have a great weekend.